or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast Special Live Stream Edition, March Madness. We're going to recap the games from today, look ahead to tomorrow's action. I got my man Swervin' Irvin with me. How you doing, Irv? How's the weather out there in LA today?
Doing good. It was a little cloudy, a little drizzling, but you can't complain. It's Southern California.
Nice.
Got some of the best weather in the country.
I like it. Sorry, I'm just sharing out our post right now.
It's cool. Take your time.
I don't know why it's like coming up with came up with the heck is going on here? What is going on? Hold on, let me see something real quick. Make sure it's working. Okay, we're live. All right. I went to share the link, and I clicked the link, and it was like nothing on there. So I don't know what's going on. Anyways, we're good. Nice, man. Very weird day of March Madness.
Very weird.
Only 3 underdogs win outright. We had Furman win early on in the morning, and just an epic collapse by Virginia. I mean, that could not have been a worse collapse. Virginia should not have lost that game.
Yeah, that was a horrible way to lose.
And then
horrible way to end your season.
Yeah, it was awful. And then we had Princeton upset Arizona, which, I've been very vocal about, dude. Arizona was very fraudulent to me all year. And then our only other upset was Penn State, who was a 10 seed. Oh, and Auburn. And Auburn, a 9 over an 8. So,
yeah.
It was and a lot of blowouts, dude. I mean, Tennessee tried to make it interesting. They had an 18-point lead with like 10 minutes to play, and they choked away an 18-point lead. Only ended up winning by 3. Good old Rick Barnes.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. My honestly, my bracket's not in shambles because all the upsets that happened today, I either had them losing next round or like Arizona, for example, I only had in the Sweet 16. I didn't have them in the Elite 8, so they lose, not a big deal in terms of my bracket. I was also on Princeton plus 14.5, so I hit that. I should have taken a money line, but
sheesh,
I didn't have the cojones to do that. But I do like a big dog tomorrow money line, which we'll talk about soon. But yeah, I mean, it was just not a lot of like even when favorites win on the first weekend, we get a lot of like good action games, right? We get a lot of like just good games. I didn't feel like we had that. We had a lot of fucking blowouts today.
Yeah.
Even the Houston game, like Houston won by 10. They were 18.5-point favorites, but they were kind of in control that whole game. Like they were at least ahead by a possession for most of the game. And then they lose Marcus Sasser, Jamal Shed as well, their 2 best players, which could be absolutely brutal heading into Saturday with Auburn. They might lose that game.
Yep. And I picked them to win the national championship. So
you and I are both in. And Marcus Sasser definitely not playing. I don't know about Jamal Shed, but if Jamal Shed doesn't play and Marcus Sasser doesn't play, it is absolutely wraps, dude. You could pack Houston up. And it sucks, dude, because this same shit happened to Kelvin Sampson and the Cougars last year, man. Like Marcus Sasser got hurt last year, didn't even play in the tournament. And we know how that went. So
tough luck.
Yep, that's how things go. Really looking forward to tomorrow's action, though. I felt even yesterday, Tuesday, Monday, I felt like Friday's action was gonna be better than Thursday's. But just to go over the games today, so the first game we had West Virginia, Maryland. West Virginia closed 2.5-point favorites. They jumped out to a a 19-8 lead. Maryland went almost 6 minutes without scoring a basket, and West Virginia just couldn't compound on it. A lot of it had to do with Bell. He was in foul trouble the whole game. He only played 11 total minutes. West Virginia was also up 11 points in the second half. They end up losing outright to Kevin Willard in the Maryland Terrapins. I didn't have any action on this game. I leaned West Virginia. I thought West Virginia was gonna win, but I didn't love it. And Maryland, we know their woes. Like they struggle they struggle away from home, but they were able to pull this one out.
Yeah, terrible road team, but they pulled it out on a neutral site. West Virginia just fell apart again, man. I don't know what it is with them when they get leads. It's just like they just love turning the ball over, smoking layups, missing free throws, and then they fall in love with the three. And when it's not working, they just keep shooting it for some reason.
I mean, they weren't bad from three today. They were 8 of 19. Eric Stevenson, though, I mean, he's their best player.
That's one. No, I didn't want to call him out by name, but that's who was.
He was awful, bro.
The three was not working for him today, and he just kept on shooting it.
He was 4 of 17 from the field, 9 points. If you take 17 shots and only have 9 points, you got major issues. But I mean, you got to credit Maryland too.
They played a good game.
They withstand that first, kind of blow from West Virginia and was able to hang in there and made it a game, and they let it half, you know what I mean? And the fact that they let it half, I knew it was trouble for West Virginia. There's no way West Virginia should have been losing at halftime. Sucks because I love Bob Huggins, man. I always like to see Bob Huggins succeed, but, oh well. Maryland moves on. Second game we had, which was another great game, we have Furman against Virginia. Virginia was really in control of this game basically all game. They had a 12-point lead in the second half, and Furman just didn't go away, dude. They moved to the 1-3-1 zone, and Virginia went through a major scoring drought. Furman closed the 12-point lead, ended up tying the game, even going ahead, but Virginia climbed back. They had a 5-point lead with under a minute to play, and just, I mean, talk about a fucking collapse, dude. Virginia just absolutely took a fucking dump. And Kahay Clark, who I was telling you and Ben earlier, when they won the national championship, he made the game-winning play, ends up making probably the dumbest play I've ever seen in basketball, dude.
It reminded me of that play from the Raiders game.
Oh, the Jacoby Myers one?
Yeah, the Raiders and the Patriots.
Yeah, that was bad. This was just a terrible pass, dude. Just threw it right to Furman, and they knocked down a three, end up winning the game.
Nasty work.
First big upset of the day. It was a 13-4 upset. On top of that, on our preview show, I liked Furman. I was all over Furman, and I let Aaron talk me out of it. And I ended up betting Virginia, put Virginia in my bracket, and sure enough, dude, I was on the wrong side. It's just how it goes. Third game, we had a 10:40 a.m. tip-off in Sacramento. Whoever's idea this was needs to be fucking fired. We had Utah State and Missouri. Now, before we get into this game, I will admit, as a Mountain West apologist, that this conference fucking sucks, dude. This is not
we
a good
rolled with them.
conference.
And only one came through for us was San Diego State.
Only one, dude. And, San Diego State tried to choke that game away, too, for what it's worth. But, tough blow for Utah State. I mean, this is one of the second most efficient three-point shooting team in the country, going up against the 324th efficient defense against a three. And Utah State went 4 of 24 from 3. Missouri went 10 of 25, and that was the difference in this game. One team was knocking down shots, the other one was missing them. And it's not like Utah State was getting bad looks. Like, they were just missing shots.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like a lid on the fucking hoop, dude. It was crazy to watch. They actually took the lead at one point. It was 51-49, and then after that, it was just boom, all fucking Missouri, dude. They ended up closing.
Yeah, Brooks, 24, Brooks went crazy on their ass.
Yeah, Kobe Brooks, or Kobe Brown, I mean, he,
I I seen him drain back-to-back threes. I'm like, yeah, this game a wrap. Then he went to the hoop and got an and one. Utah State just fell apart from then.
Yep. It was all bad for them. It sucked too because like going into the season, like I thought San Diego State and Utah State were hands down the two best teams in the Mountain West. Like I didn't even think Nevada was going to be that good. They ended up being pretty good in the conference. I thought Boise State was going to have a down year. They had a pretty decent year. You know, I thought New Mexico was going to be good, but you know, New Mexico started out 13-0 on the season and ended up just tailing off. But man, this conference, I mean, this is 2 years in a row where last year they didn't even get a win. This year only San Diego State gets a win. This is you know, now moving forward for this conference, dude, like it's gonna be tough for anybody that doesn't win the conference to get in unless they have a unbelievable out of conference
record.
Yeah, like they gotta play like top 50 teams, all quad one teams. That's the only way they're gonna get in, right? And San Diego State did that this year. San Diego State played a hell of a non-conference, and they also won the conference. San Diego State's on a different level. That's why last night a lot of people on Twitter, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna hammer Charleston now because the Mountain West sucks." And I'm like, dude, you're gonna regret doing that, bro, because San Diego State is on a different level, bro. they're a different team, but man, it's gonna be tough for the Mountain West, Irv, moving forward.
Yeah, going forward, it's like they probably might chalk them up to like the Pac-12 reputation in football, honestly, because when you had this many teams make it to the tournament and only one win, and before that you was riding an 11-game losing streak in the tournament, that's just gonna turn the voters to give you a bad eye. I mean, a bad reputation to the voters, and they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt over these bigger brands and these bigger name teams. So it's just gonna be that that much harder for smaller schools that might be talented, but they won't get the benefit of the doubt no more, especially coming from the Mountain West. And it could have adverse effect on the Big West, the WCC, you know, those conferences too.
Well, the WCC, I mean, you got St. Mary's and Zaga. They play extremely difficult non-conference schedules. But I mean, like, if they didn't, like, that would be a one-bid conference. Like the Big West. Like the Big West is a one-bid conference, but like, you know, those teams don't really play like, you know, UC Irvine beat Oregon in the beginning of the year. Now, if Oregon was like a great team for the rest of the year, they ended up not being so. But if they were, like, that would absolutely help UC Irvine, you know what I mean? But no, you're absolutely right, dude. Like, it's very tough for the conference going forward, and you know, it sucks. I thought the Mountain West, you know, you heard me talk about it all year, man. I was like, man, the Mountain West is better than the ACC and the Pac-12, and here we are, dude. Not such a good look. And with that being said, like, you know, I like Nevada to beat Arizona State in the first 4 game because I was like, well, everyone's shitting on Nevada. Everyone's saying like they shouldn't be here. Like, I thought that was gonna be clear motivation for them to come out and fucking do something, dude. They did the complete opposite, bro.
Got their ass whooped. Arizona State almost put up 100 on their ass.
They didn't even get off the bus, bro.
Man.
So that was tough, man. That was tough, and you know, we're just gonna have to fucking ride with it. Next game we had Kansas Howard. This game was actually closer than I thought in the first half, but then Kansas just fucking ran away with it. Not sure if Bill Self is gonna return to the tournament and coach.
Damn.
He has a heart issue, so thoughts out to Coach Bill Self.
Yeah, prayers out to him. Hopefully he gets better. Damn good coach. Pretty much. He almost approached a living legend status now.
Oh, he is a living legend. He's one of the best coaches in the country for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Next game we had Alabama and Texas A&M Corpus Christi. This was a crazy game because Brandon Miller did not play well. Apparently he's hurt. Nate Oates was saying after the game he's dealing with like a knee issue. He went 0 for 5, and yet Alabama still, I mean, they blew the fucking brakes off of Corpus Christi, 96-75. They did not cover, though. And my apologies go out to anyone that had Alabama minus 24, because they were winning by 24. And then Corpus Christi hit a 3 at the buzzer, a meaningless 3 to only lose by 21.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace to the 23 and a half.
Yep.
Damn.
Which brings us to our next game, San Diego State, College of Charleston, which had some late second implications too. San Diego State was up by 4 points with 1 second left. They called a foul with 0.7 seconds. San Diego State knocks down both free throws. They cover the opening and closing line. Or actually, well, yeah, opening line was 4.5. They covered the closing line.
Mm-hmm.
This was a game. I mean, to be honest, like this game, you look at the box score and it shouldn't have been as close. College of Charleston, 5 of 24 from 3, only shot 32%. But you look at it on the flip side for San Diego State, 14 turnovers, which was really the difference in the game. I mean, they had some boneheaded fucking turnovers.
Yeah, the turnovers, that's what made this game closer than what it was supposed to be, honestly. That, and for some reason, San Diego State is allergic to making open shots.
Yeah,
They love making tough shots and big moment shots, but when they're wide open, it's ugly.
yeah, it's bad. They started off the game like really shaky, but then I felt like they got into their groove and stuff. But then College of Charleston started out rebounding them, and San Diego State's one of the best rebounding teams in the country. That's where they like make their bread and butter. And so that coupled with the turnovers kind of kept College of Charleston in the fucking game. So San Diego State's definitely going to have to clean that up. I think now that they got the monkey off their back of winning a tournament game, because they haven't done that under Matt Dutcher.
Yeah.
I think now that they got that monkey off their back, they're going to play a little bit more free. And they get a good matchup in Furman next round, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's a team that they should physically oppose their will like they did to Charleston. And to be honest, San Diego State, in my opinion, is a better version of Virginia because San Diego State can actually make fucking buckets. They got 3 guys that can make buckets. So looking forward to that matchup. I haven't looked at the line yet. I know it came out recently, but that's going to be a good one. All right, we had Princeton, Arizona. Arizona closed 14.5-point favorites. The total was 153.5. The game went way under. And Princeton wins outright, covers the 14.5. Kirk Kriisa, baby. Woo! Sucker's going home. Nothing I like saying better than that. As a USC fan, it is very strange to me because, we're born to hate UCLA, and here I am, like, I hate Arizona, dog.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna be real. My whole life, I'm not like UCLA football. Can't stand them. Fuck them. I hope they lose every game, even when they're not playing USC. But UCLA basketball, I've never really had an issue with them because we never really been a basketball school. So the rivalry has got ratcheted up a little bit. So I guess you're supposed to not like them by nature, but I would never root for UCLA, but when they play in other conferences and other teams, I don't mind them winning. Like, it looks good for the West Coast. And I am from LA, so it's LA over everything, but I'm not just gonna outright go UCLA, but I never really had an issue with them in basketball because UCLA never really been a basketball school. So
But I hate Arizona, dog. Like, I do
yeah,
not.
Arizona, I don't like nothing Arizona. Gronkowski, Marcus Tuiasosopo, whoever. I've never liked Arizona.
See, that's the
I
weird
like
thing is
Arizona
because
State a little bit, but Arizona,
I've never had
no.
an issue with Arizona because I'm just like, oh yeah, like they've always been dominating in basketball, but they're always dog shit in football. Like, we'll give them basketball, but now it's like they got Kirk Caruso on their team, and like, dude, that dude is just like the most unlikable guy. Like, you talk about a guy that has a face that you just want to punch, it's that dude, bro. Like, I've never seen a dude that acts like he's the best player on the court when like he's not. It's so annoying, bro. It is the most obnoxious fucking thing I've ever seen. And today he was a huge reason why they lost. He was absolutely trash, bro.
Terrible, horrible.
So pack Arizona up. They were frauds from all along. Aside from Tubelis and Bello, they were not a great team, and it was only a matter of time until they got exposed. I did not think Princeton was going to do it, but, that's a bunch of suburban white kids that got 4.0 GPAs, and they're very intelligent, and they're smarter than all of us, and they figured it out, dude. You know what I mean? They did their damn thing, bro. Hats off to them.
And their best player, he had a good game. What's his? I can't even pronounce his last name at all.
From Princeton.
Yeah.
Which one? Ev Bowman.
Uh, the big man.
Yeah, that's Ev Bowman. I don't know how to. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
know if
yeah.
I'm
Him.
saying his name right, but yeah, he. I mean, Prince, dude, they did their thing, dude. They took care of the ball, and it's funny because they weren't even the best team in the Ivy, and they.
I know Brian said they was the third best team in the Ivy League, and they beat Arizona.
Well, Brian was lying. They're the second best team in the Ivy League.
Oh, okay.
Cornell, he thinks Cornell is better, but Cornell can't defend, dude. They give up like 80 points a game. They score, but it's hard to win games when you can't stop anybody, bro. That's the thing. He's like, at this level, you have to be like, you got teams like Virginia who are an elite defense, but then they can't score. Like Tennessee, another example. Great defense, can't score. Like, you have to be able to do both, dude. You can't be like elite offense and not be able to stop anyone, and you can't be an elite defense and not be able to score. Like, it's just a recipe for disaster. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like Auburn struggles offensively. Well, they go and play Iowa and they put up 83 points on Iowa. I don't think Auburn has scored 83 points all season.
I don't think so either. Wait, no, remember that one game? Who was they playing where they scored like 50 something in the first half and they came out the second half and boat raced them? Was that Texas A&M they played?
Nah, it couldn't have been A&M.
No, I gotta look it up, but I remember one game they came out on fire.
But I mean, it's like unusual for them to be that.
Yeah, yeah, they usually don't never score that high.
And they win 83-75. You know what I mean? I was on Auburn money line. I like Auburn because Iowa is very soft. Like, they're not a good physical team, and I knew that Auburn was like, they are a physical team, so I knew that was gonna like get in their heads, and just fuck with them, and it ended up being true.
Missouri, that's who they killed.
Yeah, because Missouri don't play defense. That's what I'm saying, dude. They give up 35% from three, and then Utah State fucking shoots like 4 of 30 from three today, dude. Like, it's insane, dude.
Nasty.
I mean, you just can't. How do you predict that? One of the worst 3-point defenses in the country, and Utah State can't score.
They went cold too. They couldn't hit the side of it. They couldn't hit the ocean from a damn boat today.
The biggest thing with Boise State, in my opinion, they lost 75-67 is they couldn't get a stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because Northwestern, I mean, to be honest, putting up 67 against Northwestern is pretty solid, dude.
Yeah, I know. Just you let them score 75.
Yeah, and you know, I know they shot 6 of 23 from three, but I mean, they still put up 67 points. But on the flip side, like they couldn't get a stop, bro, against a Northwestern team that struggles to score. Like, Boo Booey went 8 of 14, 22 points. Adish, 5 of 12, 20 points. I mean, they couldn't get stops.
All bad.
And you can't win if you can't get stops. And you can't win if you can't score.
Yeah.
Duke,
Mountain West, man, it was bad today.
Very bad showing for Mountain West. Duke absolutely handled business against Oral Roberts.
Got busy.
Oral Roberts was they closed a 5.5 point dog. A lot of money came in on them, and Duke just beat the living shit out of them. That game, Oral Roberts didn't score for the first 8 minutes of the game. That was all bad from the jump. Colgate, Texas. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
15-0.
Oh, yeah, something like that, dude. It was bad. Few games started out like that. UCLA, UNC Asheville started out 14-0. Like, dude, it was a wrap before it even started. Texas Colgate was an interesting game. Colgate was 13.5 point dogs. Over was 148.5. Colgate, the number one 3-point shooting team in the country, just could not make a bucket. And Texas shot like 80% from three in this game. Their final 3-point number is 13 of 23, 57%. Unbelievable for Texas. And Colgate was 3 of 15 for 20%. Colgate got within 9 and then gave up an 11-0 run right after, and it was over. Got within 9 with 5 minutes to play, and then couldn't score a bucket. So Texas moves on there. Arkansas, Illinois. Arkansas closed 1.5 point favorites. Arkansas basically controlled this game from the jump, just way more talented. just a lot more talented of a team. We knew
Did
this
it
was.
end up going over? I'm surprised it went over.
Yeah, it went. No, it didn't go over. It went under.
Okay.
It got a 136, and the total was 140 and a half.
Okay.
That one was ugly. That one was really ugly. Obviously, we knew that was going to happen. Surprised it got as high a scoring as it did, to be honest. Houston, Northern Kentucky. Houston closed 18.5-point favorites. They only win by 11. This game was ugly early on, which Houston tends to do. Houston usually starts slow, and then they get going. But Marcus Sasser got hurt, and Jamal Shead got hurt, which is not good if you like Houston. So let's all take a moment of silence for our Houston tickets, dude, because those might be cake.
Yeah.
But they win 63-52. I mean, talk about a team that had a lot of turnovers, dude. Houston they just kept turning the ball over. 14 turnovers in the game, bro. It was not pretty. Tennessee, Louisiana. This was an absolute joke of a game. Tennessee's up 11 with less than 10 minutes to play, and then they give up a 13-0 run and go scoreless for 5 minutes. And they end up only winning by 3. I had Tennessee minus 11, and I was absolutely fucking crushed, bro. It was a joke, bro. It was an absolute joke. With 10 minutes to play, they had a 70% chance to cover the game, and they didn't cover. Ugly, but they win, move on. Rick Barnes sucks. We'll see. We'll fade him in the next round against Duke. And then we had Penn State, Texas A&M. Texas A&M closed minus 2.5 point favorites. The total was 135.5. I mean, Penn State just beat the fucking snot out of Texas A&M. This was a 13-12 game with. Let me see how much time was left. I'm sorry, it was 12-11. Texas A&M with 12:46. After that point, it was all Penn State, and it was just nasty.
It was. They took him to the woodshed like the late great what's his name, Jackson.
Which Jackson?
When they used to call the college football games, always called the Rose Bowl.
Oh, Keith Jackson.
Keith Jackson. They took him to the woodshed.
Yep. Funk was 8 for 10 from 3, Irv.
He got busy.
Yep. Penn State is a team 13 of 22 from 3, 59%. And
hard to beat a team shooting like that.
Yeah, in Texas A&M, they're one of the top 10 defensive efficiency teams against a 3. And one thing we talked about in the previous show is that Penn State is a high variance team. Like, they rely very heavily on the 3. And I said it's tough to bet on them or against them because you have nights like this where they fucking shoot the lights out and you can't beat them. But then you have nights where they can't hit a 3 and
to save their life.
And then they can't win. They have no chance of winning because they don't score any other way. That's the tough thing about Penn State. And, the fact that they did this, I mean, they made 27 field goals. 13 of them were 3-pointers. They took 56 shots. 22 of them were 3s. So this is a very high variance team. They shoot a ton of fucking 3s. And if they hit them like this, they're tough to beat. And then the last game we had UCLA, UNC Asheville. UCLA closed 17.5 point favorites. This one was never fucking close. UCLA jumped out to a 14-point lead and just never looked back. UNC Asheville was not prepared, and
Did it go over?
The total, yes, it went over. Yes, the first half went way over. The second half went under.
UCLA scored what, 90-some points?
86.
Damn, that probably might be their season high, huh?
Yeah, it's up there. They had 46 in the first half, dude.
Yeah, damn near 50.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So that was today's action. A wild fucking day. And then we got a slate of games tomorrow. And we have a lot more. Like today we had a lot of like 15 2 seeds, 16-1 seeds, 14. We had a lot of the higher seeds. Tomorrow we have a lot more closer seeds. So we're going to be starting the day off USC against Michigan State. Michigan State currently 1.5 point favorites. This game is tipping off at 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, but obviously this game's on the East Coast, right? It has to be. Where's it being played at?
Let me see.
Nationwide Arena. Where the fuck is that? Is that in Cleveland? No, that's not in Cleveland, is it?
It's in Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. So USC's
home of the Buckeyes.
USC's gonna be in unfamiliar territory here. Why is Iwuchukwu listed as questionable? That's not good. Anyways, USC versus Michigan State. This is a game. Both these teams are. Michigan State's a very high variance team. Again, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the country.
Yeah.
They shot 39.5%, which would be fourth in the country. USC's 3-point defense 33.4% against. That's 135th in the country, but they're the 45th best defensive efficiency team. Their biggest issue is they're not the best rebounding team because they do lack size. Outside of what's his name? Joshua Morgan. They really only play Iwuchukwu, who's 7'1", and he's questionable, and that's really it. Like, that's their bigs, bro. I mean, everyone else is like 6'9", or shorter, and Drew Peterson's 6'9", but he plays like he's fucking 2 feet tall. So we don't really count him. This is an interesting game because, like, we know Drew Peterson's history in big games, dude. He definitely struggles in big games. He comes up short. USC, when they're good, when they win games, they shoot the 3-ball very efficiently. When they lose, they don't shoot the 3-ball very efficiently. It's going to be very imperative for Boogie Ellis to get off to a very good start and stay out of foul trouble.
And Drew Peterson don't turn the damn ball over.
Cannot turn the ball over. USC, 18% of their offensive possessions end in turnovers. However, Michigan State, one of the worst defensive turnover teams, so they don't force a ton of turnovers either. With that being said, I like the first half under here. I think it's going to be a sloppy game to start off with, and I like USC to cover. I like USC to win just because Boogie Ellis is the best player on the floor. So whenever you get the best player on the floor, I'll always take it. I also think USC is a little bit more athletic than Michigan State.
Yeah.
So I think like Kobe Johnson and Trey White, Reese Dixon Waters, I think they'll be able to disrupt Michigan State's guards a little bit. AJ Hogard, Tyson Walker. Tyson Walker is only 6'1". So you put a Kobe Johnson on him who's 6'6". I just think USC's too long, too athletic for Michigan State, in my opinion. So I like USC here because if you look at Ohio State's another team that's very long and athletic. They lost to Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah,
I know they beat Ohio State at home before that, but that was at home. This game's not at home. You know what I mean? So I like USC in this spot, man. I think USC wins. I think they cover. Obviously, if they win, they're going to cover the +1.5. What do you think?
Yeah, we got the best player, hands down. We have the potential to play like a top 15, top 20 team. It's a neutral site. And we got to bounce back from that performance against Arizona State. So I think we come out motivated, set the tone early, and could win a close game. It could get ugly for us. It could get ugly for them, but I'm hoping that it goes great for us and bad for them.
I mean, there's
We just
always
gotta shoot. We just gotta shoot the ball, man, and not turn the ball over. Like if we play to our potential, we can easily win this game. But with USC, we've seen that that's a big hit or miss sometimes.
yep. If the thing is like, dude, if Drew Peterson's good, USC is basically impossible to beat.
Yep.
They're damn near impossible. But when he's bad, I mean, Boogie has to pick up a lot of slack, and then Kobe Johnson and Reese Dixon Waters are freshmen. I mean, I'm sorry, Trey White, and you rely on them to pick up the slack. Like, you got to hold your weight, Drew. Like, how much more do we need to bully you for you to fucking play like you're not a suburban white kid? Dude, grow some cojones, dude.
I hope so.
Gotta be tough out there. You gotta be mentally tough and physically tough. Because we see this too often, bro. He's too good. He's too talented to be this bad.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? All right, the next game we got Kennesaw State versus Xavier. Right now, Xavier minus 12.5. The total is 154. This is in Greensboro Coliseum. This is in
South Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, my bad.
Which is actually closer for Kennesaw State than it is Xavier. Kennesaw State had the best record in the history of their fucking program this year, 26-8. They're 20-10-1 against the spread, 17-12-2 to the over. The total here is 154. Xavier obviously missing Zach Fremantle. He's out for the year, which is a huge loss for them. But at the end of the day, I think Nunji's just too much. There's too much size on Xavier. Xavier has the coaching edge, and Sean Miller, he's been here, he's done it. Sule Boom's one of the best guards in the Big East. I don't know if I could lay the 12.5. I don't know if I want to lay the 12.5, but I definitely am not taking Kennesaw State. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it could be a high scoring game, but I don't see how Kennesaw State wins this one.
Yeah, Kennesaw State, they do shoot 37% from three. Xavier gives up 36% from three. Which, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If I'm betting anything, I'll just bet the over in this game.
Yeah, both these defenses don't stop the three ball very well. But I just think, like, Kennesaw State hasn't really seen a team as talented or as deep as Xavier. You know what I mean? Like, Jack Nunji's 7 feet tall. Like, their tallest player is 6'8", dude. Like, I don't know how they're going to guard him inside, bro. It's going to be some tough sledding, bro.
Definitely tough sledding.
That's the thing with these mid-majors. Once they go up against these bigger teams, is like, not only are these bigger teams bigger, longer, more athletic, but they got a lot more of those guys, and they come in waves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, a team like Kennesaw State, they play like a 6-man rotation, and you're going against a Xavier team. Like, what happens if they put Damon Robinson on Jack Nunji and he's in foul trouble in the first 5 minutes? Then what do you do? How do you defend Nunji inside?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough.
Could get ugly, bro. Could get ugly. All right, let's move on to the third game of the day. Not Boise State. UC Santa Barbara and Baylor. UC Santa Barbara winners of the Big West, 22-7 on the year, 21-10-1 against the spread. Baylor 22-10, 16-15-1 against the spread. Totals 142.
I don't know. This game is gonna be. Could be a drag 'em out game, but it all depends on how Baylor guards play. If they play up to their potential, then they can easily cover that 10.5, and it'll be pretty much a bloodbath. But I don't know. That's a big question mark because they haven't been playing good. They played well. I think they entered this game losing 2 out of their last 3. So
they've lost 4 of their last 6.
Damn, see, that's even worse than what I was looking at. So
But I mean, before that, they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They won 10 of their last 11 before that stretch.
True, but at this time, you want to be playing some good basketball. They haven't been playing good basketball lately.
Yeah, but the thing is like they play in the best conference in the country.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's hard to when you have to play a bloodbath fucking every single day. Like it's tough to knock anybody in that conference, dude. Which is why Oklahoma State probably should have been in the tournament over Nevada. And like now that we saw Nevada get their fucking ass handed to them, we could sit here and say that, but it probably should have been that way from the jump. And the whole reason why they got left out was because everyone was like, well, their conference record wasn't that good. Yeah, well, they played in a way better conference. My biggest issue with Santa Barbara is they're 218th in the country in defending the three, and Baylor shoots the three really well. That's what they love to do.
Yeah.
Baylor's guards, Keontae George, Adam Flagler, LJ Cryer. I mean, they're very athletic. The good thing for Santa Barbara though is like AJ Mitchell and Josh Pierre Louis. They're they're long and they're athletic. The problem is that like AJ Mitchell isn't a good 3-point shooter. He can attack the basket. He can get to the rim. But like, dude, they're gonna really rely on a guy like Miles Norris, who's 6'10", he's got to have the game of his life, bro. This is tough for me, bro, because I love the Big West, bro. I want to back Santa Barbara so bad here, dude, and I want to pick them to upset Baylor, and it could happen. Like I could see a scenario where it happens. I just think Baylor's too talented. Scott Drew's he's a championship level coach. He's been here, he's done it. There's guys on this team that won a national championship, like Jonathan Chamachoa, who's coming back from injury, Flo Thamba. Like these are guys that have been on this championship level roster, and I think it's gonna be tough. And then, obviously, Santa Barbara's got like a kid like Kalen Wishart, hell of a 3-point shooter, but I'm sorry, bro, he ain't guarding nobody on this team, dog. So that's where I think it's gonna be an issue. Now, if Baylor comes out and they struggle shooting the three, like Santa Barbara absolutely has a chance. Which is like why I don't want to bet this game. Like it's probably something that I'll look to play live. Like if Baylor gets down a little early, I'll probably look to bet Baylor. It'll be interesting, man. Joe Pasternak, obviously the head coach of Santa Barbara, he's on a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for, Irv? He's like on the radar for a lot of head coaching jobs, right? So like, I don't know, like his name's been rumored for the Cal job. His name's been rumored for New Mexico State. Like, I'm just not.
I wouldn't take that Cal job if I was him.
That's what I wouldn't either. But I mean, he's only making like $350,000 at Santa Barbara. At Cal,
yeah.
At Cal, it's a pay upgrade. But then you got to deal with a lot of bullshit. So I mean, with all that said, like, I lean Baylor minus the points here, but I don't love it. And I'm probably going to look to play the first half under in this game, which is at, let me see what it's at right now.
Well, with Baylor's propensity to go off on offense, I would bet the over this game.
No, because they could like just break a ton of fucking threes.
Yeah, but Santa Barbara not that good defensively, so.
No, Santa Barbara is a great defensive team. They just don't. They struggle against a three, but they pack the paint. Like they don't give up points in the paint.
That's right. What's the name? Bread and butter is the three though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, saw a team like Utah State today, whose bread and butter is a three and couldn't fucking buy a bucket. That's the problem with these high variance 3-point shooting teams, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Is that if you're reliant on the three and you shoot a ton of fucking threes, like Baylor shoots 45% of their field goal attempts are 3-pointers. Now, if they shoot under 30% from three and 45% of their attempts are from three, they're not going to beat many teams. I don't care how good or bad that team is at defense. Like, you can't win games like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, like Baylor could very if Baylor has a good shooting night or shooting day, they could blow the fucking brakes off this game.
I agree.
So that's why I don't really want to bet it because I feel like both these teams are I don't know. I could see this
Yeah,
going in.
it's probably be a stay away from me. If anything, I'll just be on that over.
I like the first half under for sure. I'm taking it right now actually. Watch it soar over. And it's a 10:30 a.m. Pacific start.
Mm.
Interesting current events. Kind of lean Santa Barbara plus the points to be honest. The more that I look at it. All right, let's move on to the next game. We got VCU and St. Mary's. This is in Albany, New York. The St. Mary Gales lane 4 here. What do you think about this one?
St. Mary's, man, good team. I just don't see him losing in the first round. Uh, even against BYU, they was up damn near 30, even though they blew that big lead. VCU, but they shouldn't be able to hang with St. Mary's. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, no, this is two good defensive teams. I think St. Mary's a little bit more efficient offensively, which I think is going to be the difference in the game. Yeah, I like St. Mary's in this game. I think that they're gonna pull this out. My biggest concern about St. Mary's is the fact that they can't break a press, but I think with having like a week and a half of preparation
And knowing with that one, knowing that's what team was going to do to you.
exactly, I think Randy Bennett. I'm pretty sure that's all he fucking worked on. To be honest, he's like, yo, we're breaking presses for fucking 11 hours a day until we get there. You know what I mean? So Randy Bennett's one of the best coaches in college basketball. So I have faith in St. Mary's. You know, I've been riding them all year. I've said they're one of the best teams in the country. I gotta put my money where my mouth is, dude, and just let it ride. So I'm gonna take St. Mary's minus a 4 there. That one I've already played, so I'm on that. I'm not just saying I'm riding it, like I'm on that play. Next one we got Vermont and Marquette. We've seen some line movement here. This one opened at 11.5. It's been bet down to 10 at most spots. Vermont comes in. They are 23-10. Marquette 28-6. Marquette's laying 10 here. What do you think about this one?
I don't know. Marquette is an offensive. They could be an offensive juggernaut at times. They just need to play some defense, and they'll win this game pretty handily. I don't see what's the name providing too much of a threat, honestly.
Well, Marquette just plays at such a fast tempo, dude, that like you don't think they're playing defense, but they are.
Yeah.
You know, they've only allowed over 70 points a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since February. You know what I mean? So like they don't give up a lot of points. They shoot talk about a team that shoots a lot of threes, dude. Marquette shoots a ton of threes. They are very 3-point reliant. No joke. 66 in the country in 3-point attempts per game. But they shoot 58% from 2, and a reason for that is because they force a ton of turnovers. 22% of their opponents' turnovers end up in 22% of their opponents' possessions end up in turnovers. Now,
yeah, give me Marquette.
So I just think Marquette's they're way too talented for Vermont. I've watched a lot of this Vermont team play, and they're a nice team, man. They're a nice team, but their conference is nowhere near the Big East, dude. And I think Marquette is just way too deep. Tyler Kolek, Cam Jones, like this team is just they're gonna score buckets, dog.
Yeah, this might get ugly.
Yeah, a lot of people are on Vermont plus a 10, dude. I don't see it. I'm probably gonna play Marquette. I haven't played it yet, but I'm probably gonna play it. We'll look more into it, but yeah, lean Marquette there. Iowa State and Pitt. This is a game that I have played. I love Iowa State minus the 4 here. I think Pitt, dude. Pitt should have lost that last game first and foremost. They're the first team in NCAA history who got out rebounded, scored less than 60 points, and shot less than 40% from the field and won a game ever in the history of the NCAA tournament. Like, that team should not have won. And I just think Iowa State, the Big 12, I just think it's a much better conference. I think Iowa State's a much better team. I know Caleb Grill left the team. He was their best outside shooter, but I still think Iowa State has enough depth and, they're just as good, if not a better team than Mississippi State. You know what I mean? So this ain't going to be an easy game for Pitt. Like, it's going to be another battle. But Iowa State, in my opinion, is a better scoring offensive team than Mississippi State.
Yep. So give me Iowa State.
Yo, I like that one. What's our next game? We got Creighton versus NC State. I lean Creighton here. I have Creighton going to the Final Four, so I feel like I kind of like got to put my money where my mouth is, but I haven't bet this game, but I do lean Creighton here. You got any conviction on this one?
Yeah, I'm riding with Creighton.
Yeah, I just think NC State, bro, they're just so Terquavion Smith and Jarkel Joyner, they're just so one-on-one dependent. And Creighton just plays such a fluid style of basketball, bro. Plus, they have the best defensive center in probably all of college basketball, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. I just think they're just a much better team, bro. So I'm probably going to end up... I might do like a money line parlay with like Creighton, Marquette, and St. Mary's, or I don't know. I haven't really dug that deep into it, but I might do. That's a team where I might throw a money line parlay together with. All right, next game, Iona at UConn. Not at UConn, but against UConn. This one's also in Albany. This is basically home game for both these teams. Although obviously UConn's a much bigger school than Iona. Iona is a nursing school, for those that don't know. Right outside the Bronx. If you don't know where the Bronx is, you should probably fucking pull out a map. Iona is catching 9 here. The total's at 141. This is a very interesting matchup to me, Irv. Because on one side, you have arguably one of the most legendary coaches of all time in the history of the sport. And on the other side, you have Danny Hurley, who doesn't win big games. Obviously, UConn has the more talent, but I'm also not going to sit here and tell anybody that Iona is not talented. This is a good team. Dennis Jenkins, Nelly Jr. Joseph, Walter Clayton, 3 very fine players. I think this has upset potential written all over it, dude. I said it when the brackets came out. I didn't love the draw at first, but the more I looked into it, I was like, man, this could be upset potential. And the reason why is because Iona full court presses from the jump. They will force you to turn the ball over. And Connecticut turns the ball over 19% of their possessions at 236 in the country.
Yeah, I'm loving Iona plus that 9, man. I think this game is gonna come down to the wire. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout either way. because Kentucky is not a great 3-point shooting team to begin with. Even
Connecticut.
though I even though Iona ain't either, but Iona defends the three very well. So this is gonna probably be like a rebound and defensive game. Second chance points is gonna play a big part in turnovers as well, like you said. And Connecticut turns the ball over at a pretty high rate. So yeah, I like Iona plus the points.
Yep. And the one thing too is like, Connecticut overwhelms teams with their size with Sonogo and Klingon all the time. And you know, Iona they have two, like, Nelly Jr. Joseph he's long and athletic. He's 6'9", but he's really long. And then Osborne Shima he's 7 feet. He's a true 7-footer. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like he'll be able to defend them. But the most important thing is that the guards are gonna put a ton of pressure on UConn. They're gonna make it tough to get inbound passes, to make entry passes.
Oh yeah, because they full court press all day, every day.
They're gonna full court press from the jump, dude. That's what they do. And a lot of times they don't full court press to force turnovers. They full court press you to like get you into a lower shot clock once you get to the half court. But they will full court press you to get turnovers. Like they'll trap you full court when push comes to shove. But also Walter Clayton Jr. and Dennis Jenkins are two of the best defensive guards in the country, outside of Marcus Sasser and Jamal Shedd of Houston, in my opinion. Like, these two guys can defend you from baseline to baseline and stay in front of you, and they have no issue doing it for 40 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So I think that could be I think it could be an issue. I think it could be an issue. And at the end of the day, it's like, dude, tournament comes down to coaching and guard play, and they got two solid pieces of that. They got both of them. They got the guard play, and they got one of the best coaches ever. So I love Iona. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I have a future on Iona, which I knew taking it was an absolute long shot, but now that, like, it's here, I'm like, man, dude, how dope would that be, bro? How dope would that be? Nah, but Iona is a good team, man, and like, I think that people are selling them short, overlooking them. All right, Fairleigh Dickinson versus Purdue. Now, this is a funny one because remember, after Fairleigh Dickinson won their game the other night, the coach was on video saying, I hope Purdue's watching. I hope they're ready. Well, their chance is here. What is the line on this? It's not even on covers.com. 23 right now. Purdue minus 23. There's no way I could lay 23 with Purdue. Not with that dog shit guard play, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
Fairleigh Dickinson can shoot, so they can make shots and put pressure on those guards. I think this will be a close game. If you betting, Purdue is notorious for not covering, so they probably won't cover this. What, 23 and a half, 24?
I'm seeing 23s.
Huh?
I'm seeing 23.
Okay, well, they might not cover that 23. If Alabama didn't cover that 23, I don't think Purdue will.
Yeah, I'd say Texas A&M is better than Fairleigh Dickinson, but
yeah,
the problem with Purdue is like they're just so reliant on Zach Edey, bro. Like if Zach Edey isn't the dominant force that he is, like this team just struggles. Now on the flip side, Fairleigh Dickinson, bro, their tallest player is 6'6".
Yeah,
this could be. I mean, Zach Edey might go for 50.
He might, but I just don't trust Purdue.
Me either,
Honestly,
bro.
I got them losing probably their second game.
Nah, for sure they're losing the second game.
Don't they play Memphis?
Or FAU.
Okay.
A game we'll get to very shortly. But yeah. This game to me, I have no play on it. But I'm with you, dude. If I were to play it, it'd probably be Fairleigh Dickinson plus at 23. All right, let's move on to Kentucky and Providence. Providence is coming in here limping, dog. They are fucking got their AARP card, how they've been playing, dog. This has not been good, Irv. They're catching 4 points. Kentucky only laying 4, totals 143 and a half. Like I said, Providence coming off 3 straight losses, dude. What do you think about this one?
Give me Kentucky, man. Providence is just not playing good basketball. I think after senior night, them damn near getting blowed up by 20 or more. I forgot what the final score was. But ever since then, it's been pack Providence up for me.
It was 82-58 against Seton Hall.
Oh, yeah, that was bad, bro. No way around that for me.
Yeah, Seton Hall is terrible too. Seton Hall lost to fucking Colorado in the NIT.
Sheesh.
All bad. The one thing that does worry, that does concern me, is that I feel like Providence always does well when everyone counts them out. When everyone is down on them, that's when they fucking play their best ball. However, I'm with you, dude. When a team has a showing like that for senior day and you get blown out, like that's tough. But at the same
That's
time, like
bad.
the same thing happened to Grand Canyon against Seattle. Grand Canyon came out and they won the fucking WAC tournament.
Yeah, they strapped up. But what did Crichton do in the Big East tournament?
Who do you mean, Providence?
Yeah, Providence.
No, they're trash. Yeah, no, this is a tough one, man. Bryce Hopkins he's got to basically go off. Jared Bynum. I think Kentucky at the end of the day they're just too long and too athletic. I think it's gonna be an issue for them.
Yeah.
Same thing when like Providence played UConn, dude. They just couldn't really fucking hang with the bigs. I think that same shit's gonna fucking happen here. Unfortunately. All right, let's move on to Drake in Miami. This is one where a lot of people have an upset. But not only that, I mean, we've seen a lot of line movement in this game, man. Like this game opened at 4.5, and it's bet down to a pick 'em in some places, 1.5.
Hmm.
We talked about this with Aaron on the preview pod. You know, we all kind of felt the same way like that. At the end of the day, Miami's guard play just might be too much for Drake. Are you kind of in the same spot, or have you had a change of heart?
Nah, I'm with Aaron on this one.
I just think, like, I love Drake, bro. Drake was a nice team in the Missouri Valley Conference. Tucker DeVries he's a cool player, but the one thing that benefits Drake in this situation, in this game here, is that Miami likes to play small. Both these teams play small. But man, I just think like at the end of the day, bro, Jordan Miller, Isaiah Wong, Nigel Pack, just way too much for Drake. Although Norchid Omeyer might not play tomorrow for Miami. He might be out,
Hmm.
which is a blow for them. But still, I think they'll have enough to overcome. I lean Miami in this game. I haven't bet it. I probably won't, but if it continues to go down, I'll probably fucking hammer Miami, dude. I think the line has moved way too much.
Yeah.
All right, Gonzaga versus Grand Canyon.
Over is the best bet.
I mean, it might be, but at the same time, bro, like this might be a game where because Grand Canyon shot 67% from three in the tournament, dude.
I definitely think Greg Canyon can cover, but I love the over in this game. I think a lot of points gonna be scored this game.
Well, I mean, that benefits Gonzaga, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I think the 15 is too much. I lean Grand Canyon in this spot, but I mean, man, Grand Canyon, they're very Jekyll and Hyde defensively. Like sometimes they're good and sometimes they're just awful and they can't rebound.
Yeah.
I think they're absolutely gonna struggle with Drew Timmy, dude. Drew Timmy might have a career night.
He might put up 50.
He might put up a lot, dude. Because their tallest player that they play is 6'7".
Damn.
So I'm not sure how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, this might get ugly.
They do have Eaglehorn that's a 6'10", but I haven't really seen him play that much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this one could get a little ugly, dog. I lean shit. I lean Grand Canyon, no play for me though. I'm with you though. I might play that over.
I like that over. All the higher seeds damn near put up 100 today. And I think Gonzaga goes pretty much do the same.
We'll see. Bryce Drew, the head coach of Grand Canyon, he's always said like he wanted to make Grand Canyon like the next Gonzaga, so it's a huge opportunity for them. You You know what I mean? They pull off this W, definitely benefits their program. All right, FAU in Memphis. FAU currently catching 1.5 points. These are two really good teams, dude. I'm very mad that both these teams drew each other because
Yeah, two good teams. Once somebody got to lose.
yep. And I wanted to I wanted to back both these teams and I can't. I lean Memphis winning. I wouldn't lay 1.5 because I think both these teams they're very similar, dude. But at the end of the day, Kendrick Davis is the best player on the court, and he plays for Memphis. I think that might be the difference. But I mean, dude, you look at these two teams, like, dude, they're like mirrors of each other, bro. FAU offense, 114.3 adjusted efficiency, 31st in the country. Memphis offense, 114.8 adjusted efficiency, 26th. Memphis defense, 95.9 adjusted efficiency, 36 in the country. FAU 96.0 adjusted defense, 37th in the country. I mean, dude, these teams are just mirrors of each other, bro.
This is gonna be a damn good game.
This
Don't
might
be
be
surprised this one go to overtime.
this might be the best game of the fucking tournament, dude.
Yeah.
Like I flip flopped like 6 times between these two. And at the end of the day, it's like a game this close, bro. I gotta take the team with the best player. It's bonkers, bro. It's bonkers how similar these two teams are. It's insane to me. But it's March. That's gonna be a great game, dude. I think either of those teams, by the way, whoever wins that game is beating Purdue. I don't care if it's FAU or Memphis. Whichever team wins that game is beating Purdue. You heard it here first. Either one of them. All right, Montana State versus K-State. Montana State catching 8. It's open at 9.5. It's moved all the way to 8. Totals 139.5. Montana State's won 9 of their last 10 games. And they probably have the best player on the floor, too. And Raekwon Battle.
Yeah, this could be another upset spot, honestly.
Yeah, I like Montana State. I bet them at 9. It's moved a lot. Like I said, Raekwon Battle is probably the best player on the court between both these two teams, so that's always a plus. My biggest concern about Montana State is like they don't shoot the 3 ball very well, but at the same time, like neither does Kansas State.
TCU struggles to score at times too, so
Kansas State, I mean, they struggle from 3 too, so both these teams kind of struggle from
the under might be the play in this game.
Kansas State plays at a very high pace, though.
That's true, too.
Kansas State plays in the 43rd fastest pace in the country. They turn the ball over a lot, though. 20% of their possessions leading in turnovers. And Montana State top 100 in turning the ball over. Yeah, I like Montana State. I still like them. Like them from the jump. I liked them last year too, and they got their ass fucking blown out by Kentucky. So take that for what it's worth. All right, Kent State and Indiana, 4.5 points here. Kent State catching the 4.5. This is a pretty difficult matchup in my opinion for Indiana because Kent State has really great guard play, and Jalen Hood-Schifino, the Indiana's point guard, is a freshman. So this is his first tournament. Kent State also excellent defensively. One of the best defensive teams in the country. Top 50 in defense efficiency. This is an interesting matchup, in my opinion, for Indiana.
It's going to be fast paced. I like that. It's going to be an up and down game for sure. I think whatever team, I know it's simple, but whatever team takes care of the basketball, and if Indiana can put together some type of offense, because they're super streaky. If they could put together some consistency, I think they could win this game. And it'll be tough, but I think it'll be close. But if Indiana comes out turning the ball over and not hitting shots, it might get ugly because Kent State, if they get hot from three, it could be a wrap.
Yeah, that's my one concern too. Is because like Kent State, 38% of their field goal attempts come from three. They only shoot the ball. They only shoot the three ball 33%. Um, Trace Jackson Davis definitely the best player on the floor, without a doubt. But man, dude, I just seen Indiana just way too many times, bro. They just boneheaded turnovers, and then at the end, like they just hella struggle sometimes, dude.
Yeah,
Against like athletic.
man, closing out games, they terrible at the free throw line. Is
Yep.
I don't know, man. I can see an upset happening in this game, honestly.
Yeah, dude. Like I think Kent State has the better guard play, and in the tournament, like you always lean towards guard play over everything, right? Because you got to take care of the basketball. You got to fucking value. You got to value each possession. You got to
Yeah,
hit free throws. Kent State can do that. Can Indiana do that? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. So
But at the same
that's
time, it's like, dude, Trace Jackson Davis Irv can go like God mode. Like he's definitely the best player in this game.
I agree.
I just think this is a bad matchup for Indiana.
I think it is too. I like Kent State with the points, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm with you. 4.5. All right, and then we got our last game of the night: ASU and TCU. ASU catching 5.5.
I don't know, man. ASU can come out and look like a real good team at times, man, but I think they're gonna show their true colors sooner rather than later. And they beat the shit out of Utah State. I'm not even going
You mean Nevada?
I mean Nevada. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. They looked good, but they could have a performance like that, then they'll come out and have a performance like they did against Arizona. So honestly, this game is probably a stay away for me. But if I was to bet it, I would lean with the Big 12 team because that is the best, deepest conference in college basketball. And TCU at times this year looked really good. They really suffered when Miles went out, but he's back now. So I think they should be all right. And they did give Texas a run for their money in the Big 12 championship. Well, the Big 12 semis before Texas took over.
I like Arizona State here. I do. Um, TCU struggles at the rim. 10% of their shots at the rim get blocked. Arizona State, one of the best rim protecting teams in the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
With what's his name, Devin Cambridge and Warren Washington. Like Arizona State is very long and athletic, and that gave Nevada a ton of fucking trouble, dude. Like their length and athleticism, and I think the same thing is going to kind of cause the same issue against TCU because if you think about it, in the Big 12, who is really long and athletic?
Texas.
Nah, not like that. Not like Arizona
Yeah,
State.
not like them, no, but shit.
I would say Oklahoma State is probably the Oklahoma State and Texas Tech are probably the two most similar to Arizona State, in my opinion. The two most similar.
True.
But Arizona State's better offensively. Like they got better offensive players than both those teams. So I don't know, man. I think that like TCU lost to Oklahoma State 79-73. They also beat them 100-75. But I think Arizona's State's length and athleticism is going to be a problem, especially with no Eddie Lampkin. Like TCU's missing Eddie Lampkin. You know, they got no bigs. Their tallest player is 6'7", Irv.
And damn, ASU got 2 7-footers basically.
Yeah.
And damn, it could be bad. Then I didn't know they was missing. What's the name?
And if Arizona continues shooting like they have the last week and a half, they're a tough team to beat, bro. Like this is a team that might be able to make a run in the tournament. They got the talent. You know, I mean, the talent's always been there. It's just they haven't, like, throughout the year, they shot 32% from three. They shot 48% from two. Like, they've been an inept offense. They can't score at times. but they've been able to do it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I like ASU, man. Honestly, I like
Yeah.
ASU to win this game.
Well, you just talked me into it.
As much as and represent for the Pac-12 Sun Devils, please.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let's put on for the West Coast. Because Lord knows we need it after the fucking Mountain West just fucking absolutely took a
They were
shit.
1-4 or 1-5.
In the NCAA tournament, they're 1-2. And then Utah Valley dog walked fucking New Mexico in the NIT in New Mexico too. Like that was at New Mexico and they beat the living shit out of them.
Yeah, that's nasty work, man.
It's all bad, dude. It's not good for the Mountain West. And then San Jose State plays in the CBI tomorrow. Or on Saturday, I'm sorry. I keep thinking today's Friday. I don't know why. Yeah, they play CBI on Saturday, so hopefully San Jose State can hold it down for the
The
Mountain
hell
West.
is CBI? The NIT?
Nah, CBI is like the lower tournament. Like you have to pay to get into it, basically.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be.
The CBI, huh?
But for a team like San Jose State, like a team that's building their program and their culture, it's a building block. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. It's like it's a 2-day tournament basically, or a 16-team tournament.
Yeah,
SC Upstate, Indiana State, Discount Tire, CBI.
yeah.
Oh, it's the College Basketball Invitational. I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
Okay.
All right. So, of all these games we talked about, Irv,
Let's go, y'all.
give me some best bets for tomorrow.
Best bets. Give me. I know Iona +9 is one of yours, so I won't steal your thunder with that one. So
I was gonna take Iona
me-
money line +395.
Huh?
I was gonna take Iona money line +395.
Sheesh. Well, give me. I like Iowa State money line. I like Kentucky money line, and give me the over for Grand Cane and Gonzaga.
Hold on, one more time. Run through that one more time.
Kentucky money line,
Okay.
Iowa State money line, and the over for Grand Cane and Gonzaga.
Kentucky
Over
money line,
156.
Iowa State money line, and over 156 GCU Zaga. All right. I like Iona +9. Sprinkle a little bit on the money line +395. I like the first half under 66.5 between UC Santa Barbara and Baylor. I like USC +1.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I like St. Mary's -4.
Okay.
So that's five plays technically. And on Iona money line, don't go crazy, y'all. Like a quarter of a unit, just a little bit, +395. Although I think Iona is gonna win, dude. I'm confident Iona is going to win. Rick Pitino, do not let me down, brother. Let's do this. Let's fucking do this. Let's go. Shit, we got any XFL plays for tomorrow?
I think it's Saturday.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I keep thinking today's Friday, bro. I don't know why.
Today Thursday. But let's see if we want to do it early.
So remember, favorites covered all last week. Seattle was a 4-point dog. They won outright tonight.
Defenders versus Battlehawks. The over/under is 41. It's been a lot of points being scored lately.
Except in this Houston game tonight,
Yeah, except for that
21-14.
game. So I'll probably lean this DC Defenders. They the only undefeated team left. And the Vipers, the Guardians and the Vipers, a battle of the 0 and 4s. Both offenses are pretty putrid outside of one game where I think Vegas scored 26 points against the Sea Dragons. So I probably would lean the under in that game.
I kind of like the Battlehawks against the Defenders, to be honest. I think they're playing some of the best football right now. The Battlehawks.
Okay.
And they might have the MVP in the league too, and AJ McCarron.
Yeah, dude should definitely still be in the league, but he's auditioning right now.
He said he wants to play. He said he doesn't want to be a backup.
Oh, then that might be a problem then.
I mean, dude, you're telling me he can't be better than fucking Jimmy Garoppolo?
He could. He could be better than a couple guys I can name.
That's what I'm saying. Like he should be a starter, dude. Like I should say if Ben DiNucci fucking didn't turn the ball over, he'd probably be the MVP in the XFL. But that dude got like fucking 9 interceptions. But he leads the league in fucking touchdowns and he leads the league in fucking yards.
And he throws them at the wrong time.
To be honest, sprinkling a little bit on the Sea Dragons to win it all is not a bad bet because they are, in my opinion, they are the best team. They just like get in their own way, if that makes any sense. Like they just turn the ball over a ton.
It's the turnovers. That's what kills them.
Yeah. But I like the, I think the Sea Dragons are I think the Sea Dragons and the Roughnecks, Houston Roughnecks, are the two best teams. And Seattle absolutely dominated them today. The scoreboard doesn't even do it justice. It was 21-14, but Seattle fucking they had 3 turnovers in scoring position. Like that game should have been like 40-14.
Yeah, that's nasty work right there.
And one of their turnovers led to a fucking Roughnecks touchdown. So for those that don't watch XFL, we got you too. Because we be paying attention to that shit. I've won every single week in XFL except for last week. Because I took dogs last week, and I only played 2 dogs, and I played an under, and I went 0-3 in XFL last week.
Sheesh.
It's that kind of week, man. It happens. You win some, you lose some, Irv.
Yeah, can't win them all.
You know what I'm saying?
But when you do, enjoy it and ride that hot streak.
Yep. It's like someone messaged me today. They said, "Hey, I just signed up for DraftKings. What advice do you have for me?" I said, I'll read you exactly what I said. I said, it's good advice for the people listening. I said, number 1, bankroll management. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. Number 2, learn from your wins and losses. Track your plays. Because there's wins you'll have that you probably shouldn't have won that you can learn something from. And there's losses you have that obviously you can learn from. So learn from your wins and losses. 3, don't ever get too high and don't ever get too low because the ebbs and flows are insane in sports betting. So for everyone out there, if you're getting into this, it's good advice. And also, if you get deposit bonuses, this is great advice I heard from Steve Fezzik, who's one of the best sports bettors in the world. If you get deposit bonuses and it's free plays, so that means they give you like, let's say $1,000 in free plays just to make it even money. $1,000. If you make those free plays, let's say you bet USC plus 1.5 tomorrow minus 110, and you use $110 of one of your free plays on USC to win 100, and it hits. You win 100, but you lose that 110 that you laid because it was free. So what you should do is play money line dogs. So play USC on the money line. You know, plus 105, plus 110. Because then you lay 100, you win $110. Okay, you lose 100, but you get 110. Sound advice, mathematical.
Yeah.
We love y'all. Thank you for hanging out with us. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow night after the games. I don't know what Irv's schedule is like. I'm always free. I don't have a fucking life, so.
It might be a late one, but I should be available tomorrow.
I mean, the last game tomorrow is not going to end till like 9:30 again.
All right, cool.
So if Irv's down, we'll tap back in. We'll talk some. We'll recap tomorrow's action, and then preview Saturday's action.
We got Saturday's gonna be some big action.
Yep, Saturday and Sunday we'll have some nice games on deck. So thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Make sure to follow Irving on Twitter at SwervinIrvingTSP. You can follow myself at JordanRulesTSP. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love y'all. Have a great Friday. Let's get this money. Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
Yeah, gotta wear green. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes. It's easy for me. I got a lot of A's stuff, so I could just throw on some A's gear. That's green, dog.
Saturday slate is running up pretty nice.
It's gonna be nice, dude.
Take Auburn plus 5.5. If Houston missing those two, man, it might be my bracket is gonna be completely busted.
Mine too.